Disney couples. There's a lot of them, and most infamously aren't great examples of well-developed, healthy relationships. Regardless, I think there's some really great pairings from these movies, so today I'll be sharing with you my top 10 Disney couples ranked list. The most important thing to note here is that I'm purely ranking these couples by how much I like their chemistry or enjoy watching them. There are problematic elements about most of these pairs, whether it's a questionable age gap, a rapid getting to know each other process, or unhealthy communication skills.
But when will I see you again?
Oh, never, never!
Never?
Well, maybe someday.
When? Tomorrow?
Oh no! This evening!
I'm just making this for fun, so we won't worry too much about all of that. Alright, let's not waste any more time and jump right into the list. Number 10. Esmeralda and Phoebus. This might be a little unexpected, I'm not sure. These two don't get a ton of screen time together, but when they do, it's pretty great. I find they have a more mature dynamic, which makes sense with the dark tone of this movie. I find they have a natural chemistry, and their banter is quite entertaining. They also make out on the floor for like 2 minutes while Quasimodo watches and cries, so there's that. I like their shared passion for justice and doing what's right. It's what ultimately wins Esmeralda over for Phoebus. And even though Quasi takes the L on this one, he can see their connection and is happy for his friends in the end.
Look at that disgusting display. Yes, sir.
Number 9. Tiana and Naveen. One is obsessed with work, the other is obsessed with himself. Then they both turn into frogs and must work together to find a way to become human again. I like the trope of an unlikely pair being thrust into a bizarre situation together that forces them to spend time together and to get to know each other. It takes Tiana and Naveen a while, but eventually they start to truly see each other for who they are, and in turn, they really start to care about one another. I like how much Naveen values Tiana's dream, and how Tiana sees the worth in Naveen regardless of his financial status. It's nice how they accepted their fate as frogs towards the end and still got married anyways, simply because they loved each other. Then it's even sweeter when we see them transform back to humans and achieve their dreams and happiness together. Plus, I don't think we've ever seen another Disney couple get quite this close.
This could be a little better.
Number 8. Aladdin and Jasmine. These two certainly had some ups and downs. The main reason I don't have them higher is because so much of their time together in the movie was tangled up in Aladdin's lies. But I like how Jasmine always saw through that, and their connection found a way to develop despite all of this. They come from completely separate worlds, and yet they can relate to each other. They both yearn for freedom and happiness, and they really find solace together. Not to mention, they pretty much have the best couples duet song. Their first kiss is a good one, and I like that it comes about halfway through the movie instead of just at the end. Aladdin's joy after this moment is infectious. Ultimately, their relationship is a demonstration of two worlds coming together, and it's a good lesson in the importance of being yourself.
Want me to sting her?
I'm very glad that the Sultan suddenly remembered that he was the Sultan and changed the law, allowing them to be together in the end. Number 7. Milo and Kida. So for these two, I really like the interactions they have together. The only thing is, I wish there was more of it. They don't have the most interactions, but the quality of what we do get earns them this placement on my list. Milo is so passionate about Atlantis, and once they learn that there are living people in Atlantis, he becomes passionate about helping them. I love seeing Milo and Kida excitedly unlock the secrets of Atlantis together. They have really good chemistry and a sincere connection. Watching Milo and the crew lay it all on the line to save Kida as well as Atlantis is awesome. I also like that Milo chooses to stay in the end.
You do swim, do you not?
Oh, I swim pretty girl. Pretty good, pretty good. Swim good.
Are you not embarrassed? This is really embarrassing.
Number 6. Anna and Kristoff. This one is a bit unique just because Anna initially starts off with Hans, and that pairing exists primarily as Disney making a parody of their traditional relationship format. It sets up Kristoff as a great foil to Hans and shows how he's a much better match for Anna. Kristoff and Anna go on a grand journey together to try unfreezing Arendelle, and they fall in love along the way. What I like is that neither of them truly realize this has happened until quite late in the movie.
Kristoff loves me?
Duh!
Kristoff rushes back in hopes of saving Anna, but of course it ends up being the sisterly love that saves the day in the end. This is great because it doesn't diminish the connection between Anna and Kristoff, but it gives the spotlight to a different kind of love to save the day. Anna and Kristoff also have a bit of an edge because they appear together in Frozen's sequel. Unfortunately, Kristoff gets a little sidelined in Frozen 2, but his determination and fumbling to propose to Anna is really sweet. When they finally see each other again during the film's climax, I appreciate how Kristoff simply asks Anna what she needs. No questions asked.
Kristoff!
I'm here. What do you need?
To get to the dam.
You got it.
I also love how Elsa can see how genuine Kristoff is and his feelings for Anna, and she accepts him into the family.
Does it look bad?
No, you hesitated. No, I didn't.
Number 5. Tarzan and Jane. Talk about coming from two separate worlds. Tarzan and Jane have virtually nothing in common when they meet, but amongst the anxious curiosity in their initial interaction is a deep, earnest connection. I love how open and willing these two are to learn from each other. It's especially overwhelming for Tarzan, who's interacting with other humans for the first time, as well as finding out what it even means to be human. The way Tarzan and Jane are drawn to each other is undeniable. I'm so happy that Jane and her father decided to stay in the jungle in the end. It was a big sacrifice for her, but you know that ultimately this will bring everyone the most happiness. Number 4. Nani and David. Best Boyfriend award goes to David, absolutely. These two may be forgotten a lot of the time when discussing Disney couples because they were already an established pairing before the events of the movie, but they deserve to be mentioned. David is incredibly kind and patient and does all he can to help Nani, as her life is extremely stressful. It's great when we can see them having fun together, along with Lilo and Stitch. The way David genuinely cares for Lilo is touching, and their makeshift Ohana feels really special. Nani and David have to take on way more than they should ever have to at their age due to circumstance, but they find their way through it, and I'm so glad Nani has David and his unwavering support, as what she has to deal with is a little crazy. Seeing them end up in a good place in the end of the movie is wonderful. Number 3. Ariel and Eric. I may catch a little bit of flack for placing them this high. I know there's a ton to criticize here. Ariel sees Eric about once and decides he's the one for her. Eric hears the voice of a mysterious girl who saved him, and suddenly she's the only one for him. It's pretty much what Anna and Hans' relationship was making fun of. But it's not quite as bad as, say, Snow White, Cinderella, or Aurora's relationships. Ariel and Eric do spend some time together, and it's pretty cute. Ariel makes Eric laugh and have fun, and Eric shows her about the human world. I always get a little twinge in my heart when they dance together, because Ariel specifically says in Part of Your World,
I wanna see 'em dancing.
And here she is, actually doing it. And Eric, despite his horrendous guesses for Ariel's name,
Is it, Mildred?
deserves credit for so quickly accepting the truth about Ariel when it comes out. He fights for her with no hesitation. And listen, Giant Ursula is scary, but he pops her like a balloon. Even Triton is touched by their connection, and ultimately he chooses his daughter's happiness. I know their connection is rushed, and Ariel couldn't speak for most of their time together, but it made a lot of their interactions really sweet and full of creative communication. They sure have their flaws, but I'm a fan. Number 2. Hercules and Megara. Okay, I really love these two. Sort of like Esmeralda and Phoebus, I find that they have a bit of a more mature connection. The combination of Hercules' innocent, shy clumsiness and Megara's smooth, sarcastic confidence works perfectly. There are also a lot of layers going on here. Of course, Meg is being forced by Hades to put on an act, but it's pretty unquestionable where her heart truly lies. Even if she has an entire amazing song attempting to deny her feelings. Hercules is so sweet and genuine that Megara does the one thing she swore never to do again, and that's to open her heart to someone. Unfortunately, Hercules does find out the truth and they have to deal with the consequences of her betrayal. But after Meg sacrifices herself to save Hercules, there's really no question of her intentions. Hercules returns the favor by retrieving her soul from the underworld, and all is well. At the end of the movie, Hercules gets what he's been seeking this entire time. He's granted entry to Mount Olympus, his true home. But his perspective has been largely changed at this point. It wouldn't be home without Meg, and so he chooses to remain on Earth with her. And as far as first kisses go, this is a pretty good one.
It's been a real slice.
Before we get to number 1, let's roll some honorable mentions.
You are one dynamite gal.
Wow. You are one dynamite gal. One dynamite gal. Dynamite gal. Dynamite gal. Dynamite.
And now, without further ado, number 1. Chicken Little and Abby. The journey these two go on is unparalleled. Just try showing me a Disney couple that can match their level of chemistry, passion, and emotional connection. You can't. It's unquestionable that these two deserve the top spot on this list. I could go on and on. Okay, I'll be serious now. Here's the real one. Number 1. Rapunzel and Eugene. It was actually pretty easy deciding to put these two on top. To me, they're both extremely likable separately and together. They end up as an unlikely pair on an unlikely journey. Rapunzel is leaving home for the first time in her life and needs someone to guide her to see the floating lights. And Eugene, or Flynn Rider, is after the crown. Sort of like Tiana and Naveen, they initially find themselves at odds, but through their shared experiences, they really become fond of each other. Their first true moment of connection comes when they believe they're going to die in the cave, so they tell each other something they've never told anyone else. It gives their relationship a great foundation to build from. They have a really genuine conversation around the fire, and they share a lovely day together in the kingdom. It all culminates during the floating lantern scene with a fantastic song, I See the Light. Their perspectives and intentions have been transformed, and it really shows here. Unfortunately, Eugene's past catches up to him and it throws a wrench in things, along with Mother Gothel's antics.
I think he likes me.
Likes you, please, Rapunzel. That's
Demented.
Eugene gives up his chance at being healed in order to save Rapunzel. Sidebar, not to diminish his actions, but he could have cut her hair just a little longer, right? Anyways, the following scene just breaks my heart. I'm so glad Rapunzel is able to save Eugene in the end, and they live happily ever after. And that's it for my list. I'm sure there are lots of different opinions, so if you agree or disagree with me, be sure to let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear which Disney couples are your personal favorites. If you enjoyed this content, consider hitting like or subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. I have more Disney content on my channel like trivia and analysis videos, so head over and check those out if that interests you. Thanks so much, and see you next time.